welcome back to Jikoronpa. In the previous episode, we finished day 18 and we are going to this bam. We're going to this chapter so fast. Well, I say so fast, but I mean, what is this, the 9th episode? I don't know, compared to previous chapters which have gone this long, this chapter has not felt that long to me. I've really enjoyed it actually, a lot more. This is definitely my favorite day of life by far. I don't know what about it is, but I'm very invested in this. Maybe just because we're so far into the game and there's so little characters left, but it feels like this chapter is flying by to me and I'm enjoying it a lot, and I don't feel like it's dragging at all. But yeah, what the main thing that happened last episode is that Fuyuka barged in our poaching meeting, and very rude, by the way. I didn't say last episode, but just barged in with no poem, just came and said, "Someone come with me." And Ryuu went with her, so did Tsubaki, which did not terrify me at all, being with those two, with that duo. I went to look for Hikari. We found her in the garden, however, she passed out from exhaustion. And then we got a CG with Ryuu looking very panicked. Tsubaki and Fuyuka looked very menacing. I feel like they could have beat Ryuu up so easily, and I'm very surprised they didn't. In fact, Fuyuka seemed genuinely concerned, and that did not come true through her face in the CG, but I digress. And then we brought Hikari to the infirmary, and we're in chapter 4, day 19, and Hikari is in the position that Daisuke was in all the way back on day 1/day 2, and I just find that that feels like that's just such a full circle moment. And Ryuu, the new POV character, is acting how Hikari was, looking over Daisuke, and I just find that, love the full circle moment. And however, something that's not quite full circle, something that's not quite nice to hear, is that Hikari told Ryuu that she was very confident that she was going to die soon, and on day 20 he would discover her body. And first of all, excuse me, how do you know this? How are you aware of this? A part of me wonders if Daisuke was close to getting to his truth, right? So a part of me wonders if Hikari spoke to Daisuke, and together, because we know they were speaking day and night, together I wonder if they figured out the meaning of his truth. And maybe figuring out his truth made him remember something. I've obviously been going crazy and with this crack, alternate dimension every day, and the dimension goes through a different reality each day. That's why the bodies disappear, blah blah blah. And and the killing game is on loop, blah blah. But I wonder if Daisuke remembered some of the past killing games because of it, and maybe this killing game is structured very similarly to one of the past ones, with these set of people still alive, and Hikari died on day 20, maybe, and that's how she knows, and that's how she feels confident. And I'm like, is she gonna die? A part of me believes that she's gonna die, because I feel like that's a crazy thing to say and for it to not happen. The bottom line is, because Hikari said that, it's either gonna be Ryuu or her, because Ryuu's determined not to let her die, which means either one, Ryuu's gonna fail and they will find Hikari's body and we're gonna be questioning how the hell she knows what's gonna happen, or Ryuu successfully deters Hikari from death, but he ends up being the victim as a result, and that's how we go back to Hikari being the POV. And honestly, I kind of hope it's the latter. I actually really like Ryuu. I've really come to like him as the game has progressed, especially this chapter. However, I would kind of be disappointed if this is how Hikari's story ends. I think it would be a lot more. I'd like to see her story end, not like necessarily as a survivor, but just giving away the gloves as being the main character and just being the next victim. I think it would be a very disappointing end in my opinion. So I would prefer Ryuu to die next, after already not really growing fully, but becoming who he wants to be, and giving his life to protect Hikari could be that he would sacrifice himself for someone else just so they could get a chance to live and become who he wanted to be by being someone who could not necessarily sacrifice their life, but do whatever they can to help someone else. And even though we might be dead, I feel like that would be a nicer way for Ryuu to end than Hikari at the end. Overall, if you just ignore my rounded and stutterings, I think Ryuu dying right now would be a better for his character than Hikari dying right now for her character. So that's why I hope that if one of the two dies, Ryuu dies and not Hikari. But then again, we still have a maximum of 2 days of chapter 4 left, so maybe a lot will happen with Hikari that I'm not expecting. So I'm not dead set on anything, but right now, despite me thinking that Fuyuka was going to be the victim all the way back of me recording this chapter, now I'm dead set. It's either going to be Ryuu or Hikari, and I don't really think there's any in between, with Fuyuka being a very likely culprit in my opinion, or at the very least being very involved in the murder if she's not the culprit. Maybe Tsubaki's the culprit and it'll be exposed that Ryuu, Fuyuka was by Tsubaki, and that is another reason why I hope that that Hikari lives, because I feel like Hikari witnessing Fuyuka being manipulated by Tsubaki in that manner would be a very interesting parallel for Hikari to realize between the two of them that they're both very similar by getting manipulated. And I'm not saying she'd forgive her for it, but I feel like Hikari would be the one to be like, well, or she'd be like, it's just so fucking hilarious, getting manipulated by the. Maybe she'd react like that, but I digress. I feel like it'd be very interesting to see Hikari to witness that. Of course, if I'm correct about Tsubaki manipulation Fuyuka in the first place. But with that said, I think that's enough rambling. It's now day 19, so let's get into it. Oh yeah, and I forgot about that, but Ryuu left off with a but. I'm assuming the but is that Hikari has left the infirmary, perhaps, but I guess we will find out after I click. After some time, I woke up, but panic arose within me as soon as I looked around. Hikari was missing. She was gone from the infirmary's bed. Hikari! No, you can't be. Calm down, Ryu, calm down. She probably just woke up and left the room. It'll be quite awkward if I just leave the room and we find Hikari's dead body. Wouldn't that be awkward? Shortest episode ever. I mean, if we do find a dead body right now, I'll just continue. I'll just continue as the investigation episode. Don't worry, guys. I'm not that mean. The 5-minute episode, people. She's okay. She has to be okay. Even if she was right about dying 2 days from now, she couldn't have died yet. That is a very... If she somehow has the knowledge to correctly have a premonition about her dead in 2 days, it's not been 2 days yet, therefore she can't be dead. I agree with this logic. We agree that Hikari's a psychic. But before I could think anymore, I jumped out of the chair and ran as fast as I possibly could. But as I ran,
Oh God! Oh my head! Oh Jesus Christ, Ryuu! What are you doing? Why are you in such a hurry, Ryuu? Did something happen?
Hikari, she's gone. She was with me last night. I was supposed to be guarding her.
Huh? Tsubaki told us about how Hikari collapsed from exhaustion. Why would she leave? Did somebody take her?
I don't know. God, what if somebody took her? Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm such a terrible guard. But we have to search. We can't let her die.
Okay, I'll do my best. Where should I search? Should I get the others?
I mean, I feel like go to the dorms, tell everyone that tell everyone that Hikari's missing. Assign each person in a floor, whoever there assign a floor. And if we don't want to do that, search this floor first. I'll go to the second floor. You go to the third. I'll go to the fourth. Easy peasy. In fact, just go to the third floor first, because she might just want it again for funds. Who knows? Honestly, maybe I'm just crazy, but I would not be panicking that much in this situation. My first assumption would be that she just woke up before me and left. Maybe that's pathetic of me, but that would where my mind would go first. I wouldn't assume that she's dead immediately. Then again, Ryuu did just experience him telling him that she was going to die, so I guess it is a fair concern. Yes, just get anybody. We have to find her before something happens. Before she's... I mean, if anything, Fuyuka is going to really hate Ryuu after this. Ryuu went to guard and he just fell asleep immediately.
It's going to be okay. I'll hurry. Nothing will happen to her.
Either way, I have to go. I'll tell you if I find her. Hopefully alive. I wish past Kazuyuki had got into the elevator. And for the first place the cart would go if she were to wake up. The garden. Out there I found Hikari alive. And talking with Tsubaki. Yeah, see, she just left. God, we're being so overdramatic. Huh. You sure?
I'm sure.
Hikari! I think it's hilarious that Ryuu just had one hell of an overreaction to seeing Hikari gone. She literally just left the room. It's not even that funny, he was so stressed, but still. I couldn't control myself. I hugged her as tightly as I could. As tightly as possible. Okay, I came here for the garden. I did not need to see this. I shall go. I mean, Ryuu, I thought we were on the same page with no scene affectional things between people, but okay, I guess I'm just gonna stand here awkwardly by not even you two figuring out, you figure out what the hell's going on with you and Hikari. She gasped, but didn't say anything else. I couldn't believe she was actually alive. After yesterday, she terrified me. But right now, she's here. She's here, and she's alive, and she's... Don't scare me like that again. I'm fine. I thought you were... Ryuu, why do you... Why do I care? Because you're my friend. Even after all this time, you're still my friend. I don't want my friend to die. Don't tell me that. I don't care what you say. You are my friend. We are friends. Ryuu. Wow, didn't know I'd ever feel like a third wheel like this. I was thinking the exact same thing. Ryuu just opens the elevator, jumps onto Hikari, and Tsubaki says like, well, I mean, well, okay. Oh, sorry, Tsubaki. I didn't mean. Ryuu jumps to hug Tsubaki. Okay, no, that's not what I implied. I don't need this. It's fine. I understand. You were worried about her, right? Of course. She vanished on me. I just wanted to check on the flowers. I'm sorry, Ryuu. I mean, funnily enough, I feel like this passionate burst of emotion from Ryuu, from just a overreaction or just a wrong reaction on his part, seems to have affected her more than I thought it would. I think that this reaction is actually kind of what she needed. This mistake from Ryuu is kind of what she needed. I feel like she's really thinking about stuff because she was genuinely very surprised about this. Don't apologize, just please don't die on me, okay? Hikari, I can't promise that. I know you can. It'd be stupid to promise any of that. I'm kind of disappointed. I was kind of hoping Ryuu would be like, at least make a fake promise to share the same words that Mauen and Colette had right before Mauen died, but... And then if Ryuu died, it could have been a parallel between that. Not that it's needed, I just thought it was interesting that it was perfectly set up for Ryuu to copy Mauen's words, or Colette's words, really. Yup. Pretty stupid if you ask me, jinxes and all that. I mean, not that I would ever plan a murder, but if you guys just made a promise right now, I might just go for one of you just for the laugh of it, honestly. We'd have a good laugh after me, Kazuyuki, and Toshi talking to each other about the jinx and how kind of funny that day it was. But still, I should talk to the others. I must have worried Kazuyuki a ton by panicking around him. They must be looking for you, too, now. I should get back to them, but just stay as safe as you can be for me, Hikari. You're cared about more than you know. I turned around, hoping Hikari was able to take in my words. I mean, your stress from seeing her go is like probably the most authentic emotions she's seen towards or given to her. Not, I won't say her whole life because I'm a bit presumptuous, but one of the highest authentic emotions she has seen throughout this killing game. I mean, like, kid towards her and people caring about her. Not like emotions in general, because, you know, people have died. People have broken down because they're about to die, obviously. But still, you know what I mean. And as soon as I left, I gathered up the others and explained the situation to them all.
Why would she worry us like that? Ugh. I'm tired out my voice by yelling so much. My poor vocal cord, my throat is burning.
We should be grateful that she has not become a victim of this death game. If she had, we would have all regretted it. Especially considering how right Fuyuka truly was.
I really hope Fuyuka was not here when she's not in the room, or didn't hear Kazuyuki yelling, because if she did, I mean, I'm surprised that Ryuu isn't on the floor yet and Fuyuka isn't choking her.
How is Fuyuka right in any way?
Not many of us have reached out to Hikari.
I was scared of hurting her more. I didn't want to see her suffer.
I mean, I really hope you tell these three about what Hikari told you last night and about how she's gonna die in 2 days. I feel like that's something to tell the group. Because if it does come up and she does die tomorrow, at least we'd all be aware of it and be like, huh, that's weird. How'd she know that? Huh, that's interesting.
Even so, Mash must guide us towards the light, no matter what. I may no longer be the Mash I preached out about, but I still wish to be the best person I am able to be. Like, you know, be on my wrist.
That was horrible.
Okay, thank you. I wish to reconnect with Hikari and help her. We must not be afraid any longer.
After Ikki, I don't know if I can.
Mr. Kotas, you can come away with me.
Oh, Jesus Christ, what was that voice?
You will not hesitate to reach out to Hikari. You will not let fear hold him in his pursuits. Do you not want to be like Ikki?
I do, but
you must do your best as well. For Kolesh, for Seinosuke, for Ikki, for every soul you've ever grown close to. We shall not let a murder happen.
Well, you can be scary when you want it, Shugi. I mean, maybe we should banish you and Natsubaki. I mean, that was quite terrifying. I mean, I'm sure you could also pull off an evil laugh considering how you sounded just now.
Sorry if that behavior was unappealing.
As long as you're a little, quieter, I'm not too against it.
If you are certain, okay.
In any case, we need to find a way to reach out to Hikari within these coming days, before the motive ends. I could have asked Ikki, but...
I mean, clearly all we have to do is have a panic attack over her disappearance. I mean, just put two of you in a room, go to sleep, and when you wake up and she's gone, have a panic attack about her going and just have a... It worked for Ryuu, so probably worked for all of you. Though probably at a certain point, I'm like...
This is the 5th panic attack this week of me. It's kind of getting bored now, guys. I liked it with Ryuu because I genuinely like the emotions that I know he felt towards me now, but now it just kind of feels like overdone, oversaturated, you know?
But what? Still mad at you? No, it seems I have misplaced a device and remote somewhere, and there's no longer my...
No, okay. I don't mean to be rude, because I am terrible with misplacing stuff, right? I'm the worst person. I lose stuff all the time. However, how big is this? Because in my mind, this is quite a... I guess I don't know what it looks like, the device looks like, but in my mind, how I envision it is like it's a large circular disc, and once you press the remote, a hologram projects up from the disc. That's what's in my mind's eye when I hear this device. How the hell did you not only take it out of your room, put it somewhere, forget you brought it there, and leave? What? How did you accomplish that? How did you misplace it? Maybe it's a lot smaller than I'm giving it credit for, but when did you take it out of your room? I'm so confused. I guess someone could have taken the secret passway from the game room, and I'm correct, and it does go to our bedrooms, and while Kazuyuki was sleeping, they took it out. And maybe someone is planning to use it as a self-destruct feature to cause a murder, like I said back in episode 1 of this chapter, maybe, whenever, no, it would have been when the motive reveals, maybe episode 4 or 3. And maybe I was wrong about the personalities put into bodies, so we're not AIs right now, but yeah, who knows. Do you remember when you last talked to it? Maybe it's there. I mean, I would assume the last time you talked to him was when it was with us and Shuki.
Again, in my room.
Oh, sorry.
I must have placed the device somewhere else, and I've simply forgotten. In any case, if any of you find this, please return it to me.
Okay, well listen, I'm just gonna give Kazuyuki the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to assume that the device is just much smaller and easier to misplace than I've been giving it credit for. Because in my mind, it's not like it's massive, but you'd be able to stand on it comfortably. That's what I'm imagining. And that's like big enough to not just misplace. It's not like keys where they're small and you're just drop them in the edges of a couch or something. Like, no.
I still wish to talk to them one final time.
I have Asuka's device with me at all times.
You do? Okay, maybe these are just smaller than I thought, because if you can put... then again, I guess I remember Ryuu saying he put the device in Sayori, so I guess it can't be massively large. I should check if I still have Mayume's device in my room. Thanks for reminding me.
Every individual here, keep an eye out. And in the meantime, we shall come up with a plan to reach out to Hikari. Perhaps we all may write poetry to her, create something for her. What do you believe, Kazuyuki?
A large invitation card, perhaps, with all of our signatures and decorations accompanying us. Since you're the most passionate about this idea, Tsuki, perhaps you can help figure out the specifics?
Yes, I shall. Toshi, Ryuu, you may help us if you wish.
I'll help later. Maybe. I've had enough cares for one day. I cannot relax at all right now.
Can I put lasers and swords on it?
How would we even get lasers? I mean,
I'm pretty sure he was just talking about drawing it, not actually actual lasers, just like red lines, but...
I have my wings.
do you have a stash of laser pointers?
Yes, and it's so fun to play with.
Are you a cash?
No? What's that? Let me check. No tail. No fur, no whiskers. I don't think so. I say, not, yeah.
Sure. Jeez. I cannot believe I'm stuck with this imbecile Resurrected. How did this imbecile work with me to create this killing game? How did this happen?
After some time discussing what to do for Hikari, we all went our separate ways, and I returned to my room. So, is it time for another poetry writing sesh, or are we going to talk to Mayume again? Oh, it is another poem writing, okay. I might as well take some more time to write another poem while I can. Oh, it's midday now. I was about to say, oh wow, a hangout session in the morning. That's quite rare, but no. Okay, so I'm going to go for Kazuyuki. Iridescent is Kazuyuki, I think. Yeah, iridescent, perturbed, I can never forget that. I like the symmetry here. Blossom, who's heroic, bard. Oh, I love this. But Blossoms is going to be Tsuki. Heroic is going to be Toshi, right? So, and Bard is also Toshi. So I note that Bard is Toshi, so I'm going to go for Heroic just to see. No, it is Toshi, okay. Scintillation. Carnelian disguise, wasp time dragon. I'm going to go for Carnelian because I don't know what that is. Okay, correct. Scintillation. Perturbed. Mosh is gonna be Tsuki. History is Kazuyuki. Positive is Tsuki. Harmony is Tsuki. So transparent. Woo! I'm good at this. Fabric is gonna be because you know he makes clothes. Negativity. No, that's Tsuki. I just perturbed. Scintillation. Redemption. Both redemptions are Fuyuka. Sword is Toshi. Dragon is Toshi. And history is Toshi. So let's try sword because that's the one I'm least sure of. Yeah. Okay. No. Let's just check. Is time Tsubaki like I think it is? Yeah, it is. I feel like Tsubaki's is the truth of time, just looking at our poetry. And I'm guessing Tsuki's has a truth of webs, maybe, because of our execution. That's what's going in my head right now. And just to check, I already have Kazuyuki, so I know that. So let's go for Hourglass, see if that's also Tsubaki. Yeah, she has to be something to do with time. Transparent. Okay, I should probably just make sure now. Mortality. Okay, Mortality is also Kazuyuki. Duet is probably Tsuki. Negativity is Tsuki. What's Violet? Oh, because Fuyuka's purple, right? Makes sense. Mortality, Mortality. Okay, Kazuyuki. Hey, Kazuyuki.
Oh, Ryuu, what do you need?
Well, I really enjoyed dancing that one time. Do I want to do it again? Because I really want to see someone walk into us dancing, because that'd be just hilarious to explain. I know it's a bit early, but I was unsure about my poem for tonight. Do you want to check it out early?
I'd rather leave it to a time everybody can check it out, truthfully.
Please?
Fine. Don't make it a waste of our time. And you know, you might say that I've regressed by using that sentence again. However, I just truly mean this. After everything I've read about not being a waste of time, I truly believe this could be a waste of my time.
Thank you. Here it is. I'll ignore that. I handed over the draft of my poem to Kazuyuki.
It is good, I suppose. Better than I had expected from you.
Oh, excuse me? That's kind of a bit rude.
My apologies. I still need to get used to not being a total bitch. Excuse my rudeness. In any case, it reminds me of the style of somebody I used to know.
Who?
It's quite embarrassing, actually. But if you must know, I had a partner once.
A partner? You? How did you get a partner? You were stuck in your house all day, were you not? Looking after this. How the hell did you have time for that? How did you not think she was a waste of time? Or maybe he was a waste of time. I guess we'll find out.
Okay, that was just extremely rude for absolutely no reason. If I didn't know better, I feel like he'd be a total bitch in the situation now, you know. I wasn't always so solemn, you know.
Oh, right. You were younger at some point.
What? How old do you think I am?
I thought you were at least around 28 at first. You know, Ryuu, we could have kept that to ourselves. You could have lied. You could have said, 22. I thought you were just a little bit older than us. 28?
Not my proudest moment then. Okay, I'll think about this. But yes, I was romantically involved with somebody when I was younger. They were the one who introduced me to poetry, in fact. It was before Seinosuke, before my parents passed, and before everything occurred. I was much more enthusiastic at the time, which is why I was managed to enchant somebody.
It's very interesting. It was before your sister was born. Maybe your sister was adopted, I don't know. But if your sister was just naturally born, then how young were you? Was this like a partner, or was this just like kids playing? Because if you were 8, then I don't think that counts as a partner, but okay. Oh, so sorry. This is probably too much, but what's your relationship with them now?
We haven't spoken in years.
Okay, how old are you again? Because in my mind, you're like 18, 19, 20. So years means you must have been at the, like, at least 15 when you parted ways. So I doubt it was... I don't want to be rude to him, but how serious was this relationship? I'm sorry.
There's no need to apologize. It's my own fault for not reaching out. They were trying to reach out to me when everything had passed, but I ignored them in favor of my work. I do that to everyone. But we broke up after the first date.
Okay, so then the relationship really wasn't that serious. Oh no, why? Are you being the TB you are right now? Because I would totally understand in that case.
Make a guess.
But bad food? Did they refuse to pay? Did they wear a bad outfit?
Well, that third reason is something I would definitely break them up for. I'm pretty sure my attitude was the reason they broke up with me. God, such ignorant reasons. No, in reality, they brought their pet chihuahua to the pack. Turns out I'm allergic to dogs.
It must be really sad to be allergic to animals like that. Well, I'm sure he doesn't really think about it that much, because if he just can't interact with dogs, then I guess he wouldn't really think about what it's like to talk with dogs. I have a cat named Mayume, and, well, it's terrible to imagine being allergic to her.
It is not pleasant, but I can manage. Medicine helps sometimes, but the effect can slightly vary.
Are you allergic to cats too?
No, just dogs. And not to mention chihuahuas are ridiculous little creatures. That chihuahua bit me and then gave me several kisses on the hands. Perhaps that is the reason why I barely show any skin now.
I see. You're gonna really let a dog rule your life then, I see. Okay. I've never met a chihuahua, but I've never heard anything good about them.
Never meet one. You will sorely regret it.
Okay, I don't think you need to do that voice. Right, good to know, and quite a bit more ominous, and I very really needed this. How do you feel about animals in general, though?
I will be awful at caring for them. I know I would. but my work takes so much priority. They deserve a better owner than me.
Is that a no to like? Well, you can just like animals, but you can dislike the responsibility it takes to own one. I think there's a difference.
I don't know how to feel about them. Consider me indifferent.
But you love Yume, I bet. She's quiet and isn't hard to take care of, and
Please don't push your animal loving agenda on me. My ex-partner did much of that for you already.
oh, sorry. Maybe another time.
I would rather die. I mean, maybe. But if I were forced to get an animal, it would have to be a fish. The correct ones are quite beautiful. They could inspire my designs.
It's everything about your work.
Most of everything is. I'm still working on this.
Good for you, then. It's just... don't lose sight of your relationships either, but balance it, okay? And I just wonder how you don't experience burnout.
Oh, I do. I experience it quite often, in fact. I just ignore the ever-living hell that it is, and I get a fire extinguisher and ignore it.
Oh, how do you manage it, then?
I just work through it. I was gonna make a joke that I work to the burnout, and I didn't know it, but that is really just what he does. He just works anyway. Coffee, tea, energy drinks, ramen cups. I had so many of those that they may as well have been 90% of my body.
That's real horror!
Do not ever live like I have. You might as well be a zombie at that point.
Good to know. we talked a bit more until I had to make my leave. That was a nice scene. I like Kazuyuki with Chihuahuas. I guess it was nice to learn about his past and learn that he had a partner, which is very surprising. And I guess his obsession with work only really came when it was only him and his sister and he had to look after her, I guess. It wasn't always how he acted. I returned to my room, resting a bit after the interaction, but soon after, I got a knock at my door. I walked forward to open the door and... Ryuu. Oh, I need your... God, what did that chicken dance do to me? Why did I fall for such kind of conniving manipulation tactic? Need your help. Okay, well, considering that abominable reaction, why would I help you? God, I took all that effort to say those 2 words, and then this is how you repay me. Because I'm trying to talk to Seinosuke. For some reason I thought it'd be Hikari. If I knew that, I wouldn't make such painful expressions. Thanks, brain. I guess Hikari was too much on the mind. For some potential theorizing about our situation, and he's not cooperation. Huh. Does that mean Seinosuke is a traitor like I was right, and maybe his motive for joining the killing game was to try and revive Ikki, because for some reason in the past Ikki died? And Ikki's consciousness was uploaded into the game so Seinosuke could interact with Ikki more, but once Ikki died, maybe that somehow ended a chance that we could survive in, or maybe every time Ikki dies in the loop, Seinosuke's like, alright, I'm out, I have nothing to deal with anymore, bye. Honestly, it would be very funny if that was the case. He's much too depressed. Oh, never mind, he's just sad that he can't see his boyfriend. Fair enough. Can you blame him? If I found out I'm dead and just a fake version of myself, I would be pretty upset too. I'm sure this won't be foreshadowing in any cause or manner, because I've made a theory that everyone here is fake version of themselves, so I'm sure this wouldn't be this is not going to be foreshadowing in the slightest. Fingers crossed for you guys. But he's one of the only ones here with some brains, despite his behavior. I need to discuss everything with him. Well, at least he doesn't lie about his entire personality. He's been upfront. Okay, I see how it is. Really, it must be hard behind that hair. Wow, that was just not even funny and uncalled for. Okay, Ryuu. It's been days of attempts. He's not budging. out of everyone. Why do you want my help? Because if you fail and flounder, at least I'll get a good laugh out of it. Wow, okay. He's furious with Kazuyuki. I find Shuki and Toshi absolutely insufferable, and Tsubaki said they're busy. That leaves you. And we're just gonna gloss over Hikari. Ugh. Will this really help our situation if I go with you? Yes, I believe so. Fine. I guess I have to, if nobody else can. Just try not to push him too much. No more than you already have. He may be an artificial intelligence, but he's still based on Seinosuke. He still has his reactions and his memories. Oh my god, why do you care about some fake version of a person? He's not real. If we hurt him, it's not like there's any real consequence. Well, I mean, that's kind of, like, you're right, but it's still acting exactly like Seinosuke, so I would still feel a bit unnerved by intentionally antagonizing them, because I would still feel like it's Seinosuke even if it's not. If you continue down this train of thought, I'm not going to help you. Oh, fine, I'll shut my mouth. Okay, you can open it till we get there. Alright, action affirmed. I'll try. Soon enough. No, wait, why am I in your head? Oh, I've gone to your head, Ryuu. The manipulation has only begun. Soon enough, Fuyuka led the way to our room and turned on Seinosuke's device. Seinosuke? Oh, so Fuyuka brought another person to suffer at my hand. Great! I'm just here to help you. Yeah. Fuyuka with her theories or whatever. Not interested, ghost face. Sorry, but I just wanted to perish. Don't you understand? God, it's been so long since I've done this voice. It's miraculous, fantabulous. There's nothing left for me. I didn't want to be brought back, not even in a form like this. Not even temporarily. You're not usually like this. And I said this at the very beginning of this chapter too. I knew that if I had seen this guy, I probably wouldn't turn him on, because I feel like this is exactly how he felt. Oops, oopsie daisy. Guess I forgot to put on my smile and wink at you every 40 seconds. This better go see. And now you're just faking it. Fake? But I'm already fake. I'm just as real emotionally as Dia is. Duh. My discovery of their behavior didn't help anybody. So what's the point now? But it'll help us all now to theorize. Can't you try at least? I'm so tired though. Oh, my digital bones are aching so much. I might end up glitching out and exploding. I just think that you said to Ikki. Oh, maybe that makes sense, I suppose. Heck, I might even have my avatar change. Oh, I wonder if the settings will change how I look. Imagine me, but 20 times my size. I mean, you can't touch physical objects. In fact, I'm not even sure you're touching Ryuu's nose. I'm pretty sure you just have your hand placed there awkwardly, even though you're not even touching it. So if you're just 20 times your size, we would just see your stomach, I guess, and the rest of you would just be facing towards the floor. Then I could squat anybody who annoys me, like Queenie here. Once again, no, your foot would just go straight to her body. You wouldn't do anything to her. You are getting on my last nerve. I have half a mind to shut you off forever. Wow, you're gonna give him exactly what he wants that easily? That's like exactly what I want. Have you been listening, Missy? Or are you so intrigued by my artificial heart? I and what? AL and AI? Why and AI don't sound so different, you know? Oh, this I is I the word for heart in Japanese? AI and I. Maybe that I feel like I've heard that before. That might be what he's getting at. Too bad I'm taken. Poor you. Ew. Seinosuke. I know she's very annoying and we all want her dead, but if there's anything you can tell us, anything you can do to help, do it for me, not her. Aww, don't look at me that way. It breaks my little heart. I'm about to crash. Don't do that. I wish. I want to leave the hell that is life already. But fine. If it's you who's asking, then I'll try to answer a teeny wincy boost. I don't want to make the friend of my dear, or dead, old wildcat sad. Let's see. It's pretty suspicious that they have artificial intelligences of all the people that pass. Especially in such a short period of time. Wow, so really he just didn't want to talk to Fuyuka. That's basically what I'm getting from this. Okay, you do you say, okay? But still, I find it weird how easy it was to persuade him. If he was as hell-bent as not sharing info, or just wanting to go back to being dead, as Fuyuka was saying, I find it quite odd that Ryu's presence made him flip that easily. I wonder if he's... maybe I'm just getting over my head, but I do feel like he might be related to this game in some way, shape, or form. What are exact appearances, memories, personalities, voices? I mean, yeah, I didn't bring this up, but then again, that is just another point towards my theory about them being pre-made and having all of us beforehand. And we might be AIs as well, but we just have a physical body. It makes me think they have a ton of data about us somehow. So there's two possibilities, methinks. With how often I've avoided big companies trying to kill me off before, it's unlikely, but it's possible I missed something. There might be a big company behind this. Something that's been tracking us for quite some time. I'm gonna doubt this possibility just because there hasn't really been... Well, actually, there was the company that Asuka agreed to do the killing game with. So there is that. So that it could be that company. I can't remember what the name of there was, but I know Asuka was working with them. So that could be it. Or who's ever behind us has enough technology that can analyze us quickly and accurately. So much so that they can perfectly replicate us. I guess that's what I've been under the assumption of. They have the technology. In fact, Dia could be the piece of technology that's analyzing us so quickly and so accurately. Dia himself might be that technology. I don't remember getting put into a brain analysis machine, but considering I didn't even remember my own partner, I don't think my memories are that trustworthy of a source. Or, you know, a huge company that hides in the shadows and has enough technology to analyze in seconds. I guess both can be true. What does that mean for us? Well, I'm dead, so I'm chilling, but you guys are fucked, let me tell you that. I don't know. It obviously means that they have power. Too much power. So much so that the ones behind us can easily stop any of our attempts to an escape. I mean, I don't think any of us have even tried to escape yet, if we're being completely honest. We've all tried to work together and form bonds to not end up resulting in murder, but none of us have tried to get out or escape. But with any technology, there are glitches. Keep that in mind. That is why Dia is a distortion. I'm presuming. Glitches? Like what? Things that don't make sense. Code not working properly. Things being delayed or missing or being switched with something else. To replicate me this accurately, even with the perfect technology, they must have either had plenty of time with us, or a lot of previous experiments with other test subjects. A lot of previous experiments with other test subjects. What if there were a lot of previous test experiments? However, the test subjects were the same in each experiment, aka we were the test subjects in every previous experiment. Previous test subjects? Huh? Did you realize something, Fuyuka? No. Oh, okay, you can do a little bit later. That's just an insult to my intelligence. It's interesting, is all. Tsubaki told you something, didn't she? She remembers there being past... Tsubaki told Fuyuka about there being past killing games. So in her mind, she's thinking the people in the past killing games were the past test subjects. Also, for all we know, this could also just be a test as well, and we could also be test subjects, and we're not even the main event for the actual Killing Game. That's also a possibility, though considering they've gone to the bother of giving us all truths and stuff, I'm guessing that we are the actual main course of this plan. I don't know about the specifics of what happened after I kicked the bucket, but I hope the store-bought sliments on my head helped you a bit. Also, Fuyuka, I am actually quite interested in discussing with you now after that very bad way of hiding that lie. But please, after Ryuu leaves, let's talk a bit. I want to know what happens actually. Then I can perish for good. I think with enough time to analyze all the information we've been presented, we can figure out something. If I keep thinking about it, then eventually I'll have to come up with some answer. I'll come up with an answer no matter what. With enough time. Give me a year and I'll figure out something. Ryuu, someone will know about. No, they won't. And considering Hikari says she's probably going to die tomorrow, you have less than 24 hours, Ryuu. So I hope 24 hours is enough time for you to figure out the entire plot of the entire deck game. Yeah, but now, can you kill me off permanently, Fuyuka? I want to remain dead. Thank you very much. Thank you for your help, Seinosuke. I hope you rest well. Doesn't mean much, considering I'm already dead and all, but thank you. Good luck with life, or the unlife, considering your interests. Thanks. Without much more to say, if you can turn the device off, did I help? Plenty. Thank you. I think I have a theory about our situation, but I should detail it further on my own. I'll tell you when I'm finished. And now, once again, this seems like a death flag for Fuyuka. And I know that Fuyuka cares about Hikari, so maybe it won't be Ryuu who dies by trying to protect Hikari, but Fuyuka will try and protect Hikari and end up dying in the process, which is why which goes back to my original thoughts about Fuyuka being the victim at the very start of this chapter when I started playing it. And even more than that, I remember that when Ryuu panicked earlier this episode, actually, I think it was earlier this episode, it might have been last episode, but okay, spoiler alert, I did take a break in the middle of this episode because I was getting tired, so I needed to leave, and this is so I'm recording this episode in 2 halves, so I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure it was this episode where at the beginning Ryuu panics and looking for Hikari, and in the garden, Hikari was talking to Tsubaki of all people and said that, and what we heard was Tsubaki saying, "Are you sure?" So I feel like Hikari might have asked Tsubaki about some of the details, or Tsubaki told her Hikari some of the details, and Hikari is complicit in her plan for her to die, but maybe Fuyuka will intercept it and end up being the one dead instead of Hikari. Maybe I'm just desperate to hope that Hikari lives through the game, because I really want her to live, and I don't want her to be the chapter 4 victim so much, but maybe I'm just being delusional. Okay. Somehow, the fact that Fuyuka isn't saying her theories now is, well, suspicious, but yeah, it is kind of suspicious to bring Ryuu to help you, then not even tell him what you figured out, but I can push that information out of her, in any case. Let's just hope she isn't the one who's currently planning the murder, like Dia said. With a wave goodbye, I made my way out of the room, only to see a small group together. Well, but who is this small group? Well, for me, I'm going to be doing another episode right after this, so I'm going to know immediately who this small group is. But for you guys, you're going to have to wait till tomorrow for the next episode of Jikoronpa, because I think if I did my math correctly, which you know what, granted, could have done it very wrong. We could be doing this for an hour and a half if I did my math wrong. However, I'm pretty confident I did it correct, and this should be roughly the normal length of an episode. So yeah, I'm going to end it right now, and you're not going to see who the hell this small group is. Yeah. I do think Ryu's overreaction was hilarious, and I guess I'm still assuming that was this episode. If it's not, it's going to be very a bad luck on me if my memory is so poor that I can't remember what was this episode that I did only yesterday. But still, you know, I'm trying my best. But yeah, I feel like that's the conversation with Seinosuke. I'm glad we had it. I will say it did make me think less that he's a traitor. I feel like he wouldn't have said anything if he was a traitor. And I'm overthinking Ikki's notes a tad bit, but still, I think there's still some merit to them. At the very least, I hope that the 4 names that Ikki was writing down come up later in the game at least. And here's something else I was thinking about. I said back in the chapter 2 post-trial or bonus content of 1 or 2 episodes, and one of the plot holes that still hasn't been answered yet was the chapter 2 body discovery, and that is the BDA played for Asuka when Hikari and Ryuu saw the body, which means at least one person, at most two people, saw Asuka's body before Ryuu and Hikari went to the second floor. However, here's the order of events as we know them, if I'm recalling them correctly. Now, give me some grace. It has been a month since I've finished the trial, or a couple of weeks, so I might not have the details of the crime completely correct, but this is what I believe. Asuka and Ikki are in the storage room. Ikki breaks the rule, dies. Asuka, in a panic, leaves the storage room, goes to the elevator, and the elevator breaks down when they try to get it through. Seinosuke walks into the storage room, sees Ikki dead, sees Asuka trying to escape. Seinosuke goes to Asuka, strangles Asuka with a rope. Asuka, they are now dead. Seinosuke flees the scene after planting the evidence. Then later, Hikari and Ryuu come up to the second floor, witness Asuka dead. BDA rings. In those events, if I'm correct, and none else happened, that means only Ryuu and Hikari saw Asuka's body. That means that either it's a plot hole, or it was intentional, and someone else saw Asuka/Ikki's body before whatever the hell happened. And I feel like the most logical conclusion would be Kazuyuki, and Kazuyuki went down and saw the body. But I don't know what that would mean. Is it possible that Kazuyuki, as the traitor, killed Asuka as Kazuyuki as the traitor, killed Ikki with a spear, asked Dia to take that spear away, then afterwards Seinosuke saw Ikki dead, killed Asuka, and then left, and they both left together, and Kazuyuki saw Kazuyuki saw Seinosuke Kazuyuki saw Asuka dead, which is why the BDA rang. But there's a little bit of conversation that this works if Seinosuke and Kazuyuki are actually both traitors. And the reason why I'm saying Kazuyuki, because I feel like it would make sense for Kazuyuki to go down with Ikki to do the things. However, that doesn't really work, because I was thinking that, oh well, if Kazuyuki killed Ikki, then it could be explained, because the only time we've heard from Asuka in this chapter was from the POV of Toshi and Kazuyuki, who I'm suspecting of both being traitors. However, Ryuu has actually talked to Ikki, so that doesn't actually work now that I think about it, so scrap that idea. So I don't think Kazuyuki actually killed Ikki, but I do think Kazuyuki might have gone up to the second floor and seen Asuka there and done something. And I don't know what. And the reason we don't know that is because the only people who know about it would be Kazuyuki or Asuka and Seinosuke. And if Seinosuke is a traitor like I'm suspecting, he wouldn't say anything about it. And Asuka is dead. And the only time we've seen Asuka in this chapter is from Kazuyuki and Toshi's conversation with them. However, that is from the POV. That is from the information that Kazuyuki and Toshi told us. So it could be they're an unreliable narrator, in my opinion. So we can't really trust anything they say by their word. However, that's just my theory. It just a more concrete theory that there is a traitor. That being that BDA is the most prominent piece of evidence that we have at the moment about there being a traitor and it being Kazuyuki. But yeah, with that said, I have nothing else to say. I see you tomorrow for the next episode of Jikoronpa, and maybe I'll come with a wild theory, probably not because I'm only going to go on in 5 minutes, but still, you never know, maybe some wild piece of information will come up, and it will link all the missing pieces of my brain together to figure out what the hell is happening in this game. And seeing this good conversation really kind of helped us, especially with that previous test experiments, a lot of information on us, having the technology to analyze our brains. We could be in a simulation, but I guess I could explain it if our brains are hooked up to the machine right now during the many killing games, and the simulation doesn't kill us, which is how they can keep doing loops. But still, besides that, no more theories for this episode, no more thinking, we're done. None else for you to say. I'll see you tomorrow for the next episode of Jikoronpa. Bye bye.